Hey, I'm Dr. Melissa, soul strategist, master healer, and I solve unsolvable problems. Hi, Lindsay. It's awesome to be with you this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am so excited. I think that it's going to be really fun to sort of dive into this space and see what we can do together in a short period of time.
I am so excited and ready.
That is awesome. Can you take like a minute or two or three, whatever you need, and kind of give me an idea of what's going on or what's coming up for you that would be helpful to release this morning?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I have a bigger request, I would say, that I think is, which is my brother was tragically murdered about 2 years ago. We just actually passed the anniversary of his passing. And it stirred up a lot of things for me. Obviously, I loved my brother and he was the only one I had. And it was incredibly traumatic and very horrific, if I'm really honest. And so the aftermath of that really brought up a lot of PTSD that I had before. And I've spent a lot of time working through it, years now. And I just realized that I still continue to revisit that trauma and the anxiety and fear, and then just the reaction of my family and their feelings around it too, that I get kind of attached to. And so I struggle a little bit around that and some of the grief and the anxiety that comes with it. Those are some of the things that I'm really feeling pressing on my heart these days.
Oh, and I can feel that in your body even as you're talking about it. And
I was like, I'm like, oh wow, it's really weighing right here now that
yeah,
I'm saying it out loud.
yeah, and I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Uh, there are not words for something like that.
I know it's I know it's hard for people to sometimes hear it, but I think that's the only way to really bring something into out of the darkness is to put a light on it and to talk about it. So I'm so excited to get to work with you right now.
Oh, absolutely. And my hope or my intention for you is that we can free you. I won't claim that in one session we can get rid of all trauma and PTSD related to something that horrible. And I feel really comfortable and confident that we're going to be able to release stuff where you feel a noticeable shift and are really clear about, next steps moving forward.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm excited to jump right in.
Me too. So let me know what you need me to do.
Well, let me invite you to close your eyes. Much of the session, I'll have my eyes closed too. So if you open your eyes and you see that, I do that all the time.
Okay.
And I'm going to invite you to start breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And drawing your attention to the top of your head. On your next exhale, I invite you to release any tension, any stuck energy, any imprints or patterns from your scalp, from your forehead, from your eyebrows, from in and around your eyes, in and around your ears, from your cheek sinuses, releasing from that really rational thinking part of your brain, and also from that emotional or limbic part of your brain, the part that stores the old memories and the trauma. And if you notice, I pause, I'm just stopping at places where there's extra energy to pull out. And dropping your attention a little lower, I invite you to release from your teeth, from your tongue, from your jaw, from your brainstem, from your throat, and from your neck. Dropping your attention lower, I invite you to release from your collarbones, your shoulders, your arms, hands, fingers. And then really focusing your attention on your chest, your heart, your lungs, the upper part of your digestive system, those little muscles in between your ribs, your upper back. And dropping your attention lower, releasing from your solar plexus, from your liver, your gallbladder, or where it used to be if you've had it removed. Your stomach, your spleen, your pancreas, small intestines. All of those nooks and crannies where trauma gets stored to be released later. And dropping your attention even lower, releasing from your adrenals, your kidneys, places that hold a lot of stored fear, your colon, your reproductive organs, your pelvis, your low back. And then settling in really heavy as you release in your hips, your thighs, your knees, your shins and calves, your ankles and feet. And as you feel that stuck energy, that tension, those old patterns releasing out of your body, I invite you to feel, sense, or imagine that your grounding cords have been activated, extending down from your feet, from your tailbone, extending down through the surface of the earth, extending all the way until they wrap around the earth's core. And on your next inhale, I invite you to draw that earthen energy up through your cords, through your feet, your ankles, your lower legs, your knees, your thighs, your hips. Draw it up through your belly, your chest, your throat, all the way to the top of your head. And as it reaches the top of your head and you feel that tingling sensation, I invite you to feel, sense, or imagine divine, warm, white light streaming down from above, streaming over the outside of your body, streaming in through the top of your head, moving its way down through your body, filling any gap or any nook or cranny that's been created as a result of the energy that's already been released. And dropping your attention down to your heart space, that space at the bottom of your breastbone, I invite you to fill that space with the earth energy from below and the divine energy from above. And then add to that delicious mix, your own energy of joy and love and peace and abundance. And when that feels complete, let me know.
Okay.
How are you feeling?
A little emotional.
Where do you feel that in your body, Lindsay?
I feel it's like kind of behind my actual physical heart, like behind that. And then somewhere between my heart and my solar plexus, I feel a lot of heaviness here.
Yes. If you're able to keep your attention on those areas, let's pause for a moment and just pull some of that out of there. It feels like there's a lot of unexpressed grief. Almost when I feel in your body, I almost feel like a lump in the front of your throat, like that grief that wants to bubble up and out is held back.
I felt when you were kind of going down, I'm like, oh, it's like stuck in my throat too. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you feel it, but I feel a lot of tension in your lower left rib cage.
My where?
Lower left ribs.
Yeah.
It's very like crushing, almost squeezing. But just drawing the attention to it, I feel it already starting to let go.
Wow. Yeah.
I invite you to say, you don't need to say anything. And if you wish to say anything that's coming up for you, sensations or emotions or anything that you feel,
It's like a softening. Um like you found a bowling ball. Just like picked it up and pulled it out. And like, I don't know, the release of tension maybe is even just saying that makes me okay.
and it feels to me like the fear and the grief are so entwined with so many things. Now I've got a big thing going up the back of your left neck up to the base of your skull. Like it's all just very interwoven,
Yes.
which makes it really hard for someone to release on their own, right? Because you go concentrate on one thing and they're like so connected.
Yeah, it feels like it's like trying to hold on to me. Even though I'm like, please go away.
We've got a good flush of energy going up the back of your head.
I can feel that.
Yeah. We just unkinked one of the major, if you think of your energy column in terms of kind of like a hose, you just unkinked part of it. And it's not obstructed anymore.
Yeah, I kind of feel like a flow here. Oh, wow.
It's really opening.
Oh my gosh, I have goosebumps all over.
I don't know how productive you were before, but I have the massive sense that the amount of energy that you were able to access along that whole column was, kind of like if you were trying to breathe through one of those like swizzle stick straws, instead of taking a big normal breath. There's just so much energy moving. It's like your whole being is being sort of revitalized, like it had, like it was like a leg that had fallen asleep. And
Feels like, I don't know, like this light column. I don't know how to describe it. Like activating something. I don't know how to describe it. Like you just, I don't know, pulled this thing off of me. And I thought I was doing good. But like a cloud, like you're taking away a cloud, like a heaviness and a fog. Um,
I love that. And one of the things I love about this process or this work is it doesn't have to induce more suffering. It doesn't have to cause struggle.
there's been so many tears and so much pain. It's just like give it over. Like what, without having to relive it again. I feel so much gratitude right now.
Oh, it's a blessing to be in this space with you. I feel some contraction by your solar plexus. So if you drop your attention there, I don't know if you feel that.
Oh yeah, I can.
Oh, I love it when it shifts and you get the flush up the back of your head.
Like, I don't know how you're doing this.
There's a little grief stuck almost under your collarbones. I don't know if that area feels sensitive or sore, if you can feel that it just feels really dense and almost heavy there.
Kind of like the weight of the world.
Mm-hmm. And the energy flows through there almost like, I don't know, water trying to flow through a really dense sponge or something. It's just not moving very freely.
Oh. I feel like this yanking on it.
There's a part of you that is holding on with a belief system that it feels like you've carried at the very least since early childhood, but probably previous lifetimes. that it's your job to carry the weight of the world, that it's your job to be strong and to be tough. And if you were to picture inside that part of your body, a young version of yourself, maybe 4 years old, and tell her you're allowed to put it down.
Wow. Um,
If it feels good to you, maybe even tell her out loud, you're allowed to put it down. You're allowed to let go.
it's safe to let go. That is not your job. Let go.
It also feels like that's where you mentioned family members' energy connecting. It feels like that's where it's connecting and weighing you down, holding that pattern in your body.
That's exactly it. The need to be strong for everyone around me. From being really, really small.
Maybe giving that 4-year-old you permission to just lose it. You're allowed to lose it. You're allowed to break down. You're allowed to lose control. You're allowed to not have it all together.
Yeah, I'm having a reaction to the control word. Like, I want to hold on to it so tight.
And realize often that's the mind, and that's those subconscious patterns that have been imprinted for decades or our entire lifetime. And by actually letting go of the control, you'll often find that you have far more control over what's going on by allowing or giving permission for the lack of control to be there.
The part that's like blowing me away is that I thought I had addressed some of this stuff, and to feel it so deeply like intermingled into almost my identity. Like, I'm not this without that, which I know isn't true, but that I've like ingrained it, like it's been programmed.
Exactly right. Your contemporary present day self cognitively knows it not to be true. And yet your body is embodying the pattern that was instilled long ago. And even that duality keeps us at war with ourselves, right? It's like, I thought I released this by now, or I thought I dealt with this already, or why am I still having to deal with this, X, Y, or Z again? The mind doesn't really understand. And so even giving permission for that duality or that conflict to exist is actually the key to letting it go.
It's almost like I'm guilting myself for not having done it.
Give yourself permission for that. Give yourself permission to feel guilt, permission to feel shame, permission to not have known how to do it differently.
I didn't know better. That's it.
And in the same way, you mentioned being a mom, in the same way that with one of your children, you would never guilt or shame them for not knowing how to do something differently, or for thinking that they had resolved something that was still there. Take that kindness and that gentleness, that permission, and give that to yourself.
I've taken like 7-year-old me and held her to the same standard as 38-year-old me.
It's so common. And yet, if you thought about it like something else, like you wouldn't expect 7-year-old you to understand algebra or trigonometry or calculus or something prior to learning it. But what we do with ourselves is we beat ourselves up for not knowing something before we learned it.
It's like a relearning too.
It's a coming home to the truth of who you are, because all of those patterns and those imprints were telling you who you are not, as if it was who you were. They were not true.
Oh my God, Melissa, that was powerful.
I'm going to give you as much time as you need, and I will hold space and I will continue to pull any energy that comes up, but give you as long as you need to really anchor this feeling, this new energetic reality into your body, almost like energetic muscle memory, where even when circumstances happen or things come up, you can go back to this place. Take as long as you need, and when it feels complete, just let me know.
We are complete.
Oh. How do you feel?
Like I can fly. Like something I didn't know that. I felt like I had sandbags tied to me, basically, which like it just. Oh my God! I cannot believe that you could dig that out, like excavating 2 tons of stuff that was just weighing on me, and I had no idea it was there. And I practice stuff all the time to try to take care of this, like the fact that like I don't know what you did, but it's like I can feel the energy from like it's going straight like a spotlight. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And I can feel it moving up. Your right calf, especially, is like it was, asleep for years or something, and it's waking up as this energy is moving through.
Yeah, my body is like buzzing, like like when you run and then you stop running and your body is like that's the same feeling of like pulsating. Oh, I have goosebumps all over. Wow, that was amazing.
Oh, you are awesome and amazing. There was fear that kicked up as we were moving down initially in the meditation. I could tell the grief and the fear was like, oh, holy cow, she's getting to us next. And yet your body just like relaxed into it and was so open and willing to release, because it's time for that stuff to go. It was a beautiful experience for me to be in that place with you.
I am just blown away. And I definitely felt like I was like, oh, hello. Like yanking on certain things, or like body still wanted to tense up in certain areas. I'm like, just breathe. Just breathe. It's okay. You're still safe. And I think that was like I think the message I feel like is there was an identity I had assumed of who I was, or that I had to be this thing. And that's not true at all, even that I don't have to I'm not responsible for the world. I'm not responsible for anyone but me. And it's okay to release the shame and the guilt and to still feel grief, but that's not who I am. Wow, just saying that.
It no longer needs to define you. It will always be a part of your history.
It's exactly what it is. It was embodying the identity of it. Like it made me something, not even something I want, but just something that it became like, this is who you are. And that story is just a box, not a reality of this being, multifaceted person that has, a soul, and not just a story.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. You are amazing.
Oh, right back at you. It's so amazing. I love it.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing your gift with me.
Oh, you are very welcome. This was awesome.
Thank you so much.